Good morning. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. It's on Monday. I hope everybody's doing fine. Hello, Coin Junkie. How are you doing? I see a lot of people kind of either wake up real early or are still awake from last night. What you up to? Me, I'm having my first cup of coffee of the morning. Among me from last night, I guess. Tried to sleep, but I couldn't. But that's life, I guess. So, did you get anything interesting last night? Or did you just come close and that was about it? Well, I guess we're having our first cup of coffee together. And in case you're wondering why the table's over there, so that's about what I see in my left eye. People don't understand, but whatever. Awesome. 40% are always good. I kept getting so close and yet it's so far away. Yeah, cataract's a real bummer. Always take care of your eyes. Please always take care of your eyes. Oh, without them, there's a lot of things you will miss, like kittens curled up on a big old pile. One of them with their head down on the side of the table, like, oh no, I'm just a pile of nothing. Just a pile of threesomes of kitty kittens and pretty faces and pretty noses and pretty eyes and pretty ears. They're all cute. Mm. Sometimes after going through I don't know how many screens, you're like, oh my God, I just want to do something different for a little bit of a slower pace and a little bit of a more chill attitude and just kind of calm things down because everybody's been rushed. Like, okay, can I hear another bid, this bid, that bid, yeah. Can I see a star? Can I see a spot? Can I see another race? Can I see another card? Oh my gosh. Sometimes you wonder when is it going to end, but it's like music to your ears when people are at least talking to you, talking, and that's about all you can concentrate on is the voices that are in your head other than the other voices that are in your head. Yeah, it can. Especially when there's like seven people, seven, eight people up there, and it's like, what? And they're all trying to talk at the same time, and it's like, okay, okay, okay. I gotta figure this voice to this voice to this voice to this voice, and what they're trying to say, and it's like, okay, we got four people talking at the same time about the same thing, and none of them are getting the price right. I want to put it down in the chat. I want to be a good moderator, but there ain't no way I'm going to do something like that and mess their stream up. Nope, not gonna do it. Oh, a lot of other stuff happens on channels that drive me a little bit nutty, but I've got to learn to roll with the punches when it comes to some of it. Not everybody's going to respect the fact that you want to respect somebody else when something's happening for them or about them that maybe they should be there for the stream and they're not. Oh, I get that, coin junkie. Believe me, I used to be a hunting pack myself. I used to type with like 5 fingers, three on one hand and two on the other, and it was like very, very maddening. Now I can kind of hold my own, but it just depends on the day and depends on the lighting situation. I used to could type a lot faster than what I do now. I gotta get at least an inch, 2 inches away from my keyboard and to the chat area just to read. And sometimes I hit enter before I proofread, and I'm like, oh, I just spelled the word change with an X, Hange. Oh, brother. Not another typo like that. I'm going to cry. I feel like I'm going to cry when I misspell a word. But it's like you try to keep up, try to take and do what you've done for 6 months, 2 years ago, and it's like, what? I gotta be a little bit slower. Used to when I learned how to speed type, now I need to slow type to get it right. Why so? If you didn't have a hurdle or two to go over, it wouldn't be worth it, I guess. Takes me too long to figure out where the cursor is to change it to make the correction. So it's like, whatever. May as well just leave it the way it was. Can't change it. Even though I got the cursor a different color, it still like fades out like nuts. So it's better off just to go ahead and let them think you don't know how to spell for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and then suddenly all of a sudden you know how to spell again. It's like, huh? What should you do? Get a program that says autocorrect the right way? We need that program. No, the programs I got the regular program on here that will autocorrect, and I've also got Grammarly, and sometimes between the two of them, they still don't do it, and it's like, really, but you gotta take what you can get. I may as well take my headphones off. I'm not listening to anything. Oh, but I am talking a bit too loud because I've got him on and I'm like, what? I'm going to wake up my husband. He's going to be like, I want a cup of coffee if you're going to wake me up. Shouting at the there you go, screaming like that. Mm, I'm trying not to shout. I'm trying not to. Because my babies just got themselves some treats with the catnip in them. And they're all having their little nicotine. Well, actually, their cat nicotine, which is catnip. Peacefulness, and happiness, and their joyness. It's like, wow, we're so happy, we're so loved, we're so precious. I don't know where Gidget, my cat, from my avatar is. She done took off about a week ago and ain't been seen since. I do have a lot of kittens, and I am really into my cats. I love them. It's just sometimes they stick around for a while, and sometimes they just kind of say, well, we just want to be domesticated for a little while, and then we'll go back out and we'll join the rest of our family. And it's like, okay, if that's the way you wanted to quit fighting your sister, quit fighting your sister, you little brother, rat. Supposed to be nice to her. Yeah, nice to the baby girl. Don't be a mess. I got three of them on this little stand over here next to me to my left. And I got like half a dozen more kittens outside. And I've got their mothers outside too, and they're probably pregnant again by now. Same daddy or same one of three dads. And since most of them are being born without a tail, I would say they are the same dad. Who is a beautiful Japanese bobtail that showed up when back in 2019 when him and I first got here and was like, I just want to be a part of your family. Okay, come on in. He came in, him and Miko, my other cat, the one you'll see if you go to the very beginning of my history of videos, you'll see Miko on it. I did a video with him long time ago. And him and Miko did not get along very well. But I guess you could say, all in all, their heart beats to love. Since I don't have any kids, and they always remind me to have a childish, enthusiastic look on life instead of the pessimistic crap that goes on. Because pessimism just breeds despair, and you don't need that. Nobody needs that. I'm going to touch on one thing, and that was that RVW. You probably know what I'm talking about. I really, really seriously don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get why people are so upset. I don't get it. Maybe if my mind was focusing on one point of view or the other, whichever side there is to it, and was laser focused, I would get it, but I don't get it. Why make a fool out of yourself? Be negative in front of everybody else and show yourself off to be some nutcase when you can just go about, have your opinion on the inside, and don't shout and scream and daggum middle of the freaking street and parade around like you're king or queen and you should be heard from it. Keep it as a subject matter that's between you and God and whoever you're with and whatever's going on. Nobody really needs to be a part of it. It's just a choice of our very own. I used to get so wound up, so emotional, and so hell bent on my opinion and what was going on when it comes to all these issues in the world. And then I came to a solution. I can't I can't change the world. I can't even change one person. Even though I may try, I cannot change a single person because every person on earth has the free will to make up their mind about whatever is going on in their head. And far be it from me to try to change it. Sure, you can have an opinion and you can beat that dead horse until it is so far gone that it means nothing. Solution is, and if you're willing to do this, and this is almost a challenge to you guys, cut cable, cut your cable, cut your channel access to the mainstream news. And you may say why? Because that's where a lot of stress lays. Stress lies. And fostering a better relationship with your family, with God, trumps all that negativity and all that hatred and all that junk that is out there. Challenge yourself to go a day without listening to the news or reading a newspaper. Challenge yourself to go ahead and say, you know what? I'd rather be blindly led by faith in God than I would to be led by a nose ring by the politicians and the bullshit of this world. Nah, I mean, like you and I could have a discussion on whether 40% silver is actually 40% silver, or if it's 39.99, or if it's 40.99. We could still We could have an argument for an hour on that. But hey, why should we? You won't get either of us anywhere. Might tick each other off along the way, but that'll be about it. But you know what? We're all given a born and we're all given a death by God that created us. And you know what? We can't take the gold, the silver, and whatever we accumulate on this earth with us when we go. Because in the Bible it says, your riches are stored up in heaven. And you know what my riches are going to be? I want to see Jesus Christ. And if God willing, I've got hair long enough. I want to take his sandals off and I want to wash his feet like they did in biblical times. And that would not even cover how much I appreciate the fact that he came so that we, or I should say, so that I could go and meet him and meet God and feel the love of the animals that I thought were lost forever, feel the love of the people that love me forever, but most importantly, get to see God's face and not cringe and give them both a hug and tell Mary and Joseph how special I think they are for what they did. Because Joseph didn't have to go ahead and marry Mary, but he did. And it just was the most awesome gift that any human being and any entity could ever do for the people on this planet. And I'm probably a little bit long winded when it comes to some stuff, but kind of how I feel. I'll be going through the worst day ever, and I'll still be thinking that Jesus still loves me, and that Jesus will be there for me. I wish this world wasn't as messed up as it is. But I'll tell you something. I was when I was with George, my husband, I saw some beautiful country. I've seen mountains that were just so gorgeous. It was like breathtaking. I've seen places where it was so completely flat on one side of the highway and the mountains were rising up to the, like let's say on the left side of the highway, complete, utter flatness. And on the right side of the highway, mountains rising up into the sky. The first original skyscrapers that ever were put on this earth, and they were put here by God to show us that no matter what kind of building we put on this earth, it is not going to be as beautiful as something that He created. I lived in Colorado Springs for a couple months with my niece and went up to Pikes Peak. Beautiful country. I mean, beautiful. But I'll tell you something. It could be 80 degrees in that in the valley, but once you got up there to about the top of Pikes Peak, you would be wanting to wear two pairs of sweatpants, two sweatshirts, and a jacket over it. It would drop down to the 30s and it would be like so foreign. It was almost foreign to a person that's never went through it. And it's like, wow. And there's so many things that are just that can wow you on this planet. I've seen redwoods so big and so tall and so big around. It's like it would take 10 men to hand to hand to hug the thing. I've seen bears in the on the side of the road. I've seen elk. I've seen moose. I've seen deer. I even had a doe for a pet one time where I'm living at right now. I've seen coyotes, foxes, roadrunners, wolves. What is that kind of dog that is not a coyote and it's not a wolf and it's not a fox? It's something else. It's almost like a hyena, but it ain't. So I've seen those. I've seen hummingbirds and I've seen birds that were just so, yeah, probably it was a feral dog then. I've seen animals that just would blow your mind to know that they do exist in the wild. I've seen back when I was living with him, with George in Eufaula, they've got places where they set it up for the eagles to nest. And it is so beautiful on Lake Eufaula, and especially when the eagles are flying around and they're going out to catch their food for themselves and for their little fledglings. It's nature is so surreal. If you can get in contact with nature, say goodbye to the city attitude and step back from it. Get used to some of the stuff that's going on. Get used to the ability to walk out on your porch go to the middle of your yard and look up and see stars. You don't get stars in the city. So I've been places where it was so dark you could see all the stars and you could see little galaxy, little Milky Way places. It was awesome. And it's all inspiring to see some of the countryside that there is. This world has a lot more to offer than the mainstream news and media will ever show you. I'm gonna have to go. Coin Junkie, it was nice having you hanging out with me. You have a fabulous day and a fabulous week, and I'll see you around. Much love, much respect, and prayers for you and your family. God be with. Bye.